I really like most of the DC20 subclass artworks, so I'll be ranking them on a tier list for fun. This isn't meant to be an art critique, this is just me ranking them based on how much I like them. For example, if I were to rank the Mona Lisa, it'd go straight into C tier. The vibes say no, I don't like her design, her hands are the only good part. Da Vinci should have given her something cool like a sword. So now that I've cleared that up, it's time to move on to talking about some higher class art. Well, subclass art. Elemental Fury has so much aura, I love it. Though I'm a bit surprised by how similar it looks to the Barbarian class artwork. Maybe that's intentional for whatever reason. Like, since it's the first subclass new players will see alphabetically, the artwork was designed to convey how a subclass is an enhancement of a base class. Or more likely, I'm overthinking it. Regardless, he looks really cool. And I didn't notice this at first, but there's a big difference between him and the class artwork. Since the Elemental Fury is a Giantborn, you can tell by the tattoos on his shoulders. I suppose I wish the tattoos were a bit more prominent, but regardless, he's going into A tier. Spirit Guardian is definitely one of my favorites. Both Barbarian subclass artworks have aura, but Spirit Guardian just has slightly more. If I were to quantify it, I'd say that the Elemental Fury has a 2-space aura, while the Spirit Guardian has a 5-space aura. But seriously, I love the design of her and the spirits, it's great, S tier. Eloquence is alright, it fits well with the theme of the subclass, but he's just a handsome guy. And I own a mirror, so it's something I haven't seen before. B tier. Jester is very cute, I love the outfit. I hope that in 2028 my beautiful hypothetical wife looks as cute. Easily A tier. Hero looks solid. I was surprised that an orc was chosen as the ancestry, but I like it. I think it works well. I'll go with B tier. Sentinel has a cool weapon, cool armor, and he's dark green. All great qualities to have. A tier. Inquisitor looks awesome. He has a nice hat. A tier. Priest looks great. Maybe not quite as cool as the Inquisitor or as cute as the Jester, but it's definitely close. In general, I wouldn't say that I'm a fan of clerics, but that might be changing. Both artistically and mechanically, clerics are really good in DC20. I'll go with A tier, but neither cleric is far off from being S tier. Crusader is interesting. I'm curious about his ancestry. At first I thought he was an Angelborn, though he doesn't really match with other Angelborn. He might just be a human. I don't know, but what I do know is that he's a very cool hammer. And beyond that, I don't have much to say. He's not bad. B tier. Warlord goes extremely hard. Despite the lack of dark green, I prefer this Dragonborn over the Sentinel. He's so cool, just look at that sword. The Mona Lisa could never. S tier. Phoenix has an absolutely fire design. Generally, I'm not the biggest fan of druids, but this guy makes their stocks go up by so much. I actually kind of want to play as a druid now. A tier. Rampant growth. So, I would like to retract my previous statement. I'm sorry, but this is probably my least favorite subclass artwork. I don't like how Terraborns look in general. The rock eyebrows and the gem hair just aren't for me. But Terraborns are related to dwarves, and dwarves are super cool, so they do usually have that going for them. However, this Terraborn doesn't even give off dwarf energy. To me, this looks more like a rock human, and not in the cool JoJo's way either. I don't think this is bad in the sense that it has something wrong with it or needs to be changed, but this really isn't for me. This may be harsh, but I'm putting it into D tier. Monster Slayer has a great design. The hair is the only thing I'm unsure about, but even then it kinda works. Though my favorite part about this artwork is the monster that he's standing on. I don't think we know what this creature is yet, so I really hope that whenever we get this monster stat block, it ends up being absurdly strong, just so this gremlin seems cooler. We need Monster Slayer upscale. S tier artwork. Trapper was a standout subclass for me when I first read through 0.9. I thought it was cooler than the Monster Slayer. But now, this artwork is influencing me, and I'm starting to question my choices. This art doesn't make me want to play as a trapper. It lacks aura and it doesn't really give skilled trapper energy. She's just placing down a trap. For all I know, she could have bought it off fancy eBay. Maybe it'd be better if she were tinkering with a trap or had a box of tools next to her or something, but I really don't resonate with this. My biggest takeaway from this artwork is that female goblins have sharp toenails. This is going into C tier. Astral Self looks like a stand user. I love it. This artwork does a great job showing off the flavor of the subclass too. A tier. Shifting Tide is very unique looking. I think this is a Dragonborn. I appreciate how distinct it looks, and I wouldn't say that it's bad, but I simply don't like it. C tier. It's comparable to the Mona Lisa. Oracle has cute ears. I like that her hood has ear holes. B tier. Cyanite doesn't even have ears. C tier. Long Death is cool and edgy looking, which I'm a big fan of. But the main thing that caught my attention was the green liquid that the daggers are coated in. That made me realize that Long Death would actually work extremely well for recreating the Silent from Slay the Spire. Which isn't exactly relevant, but I now want to play as the Long Death rogue slightly more after having this realization, so that counts for something. A tier. Swashbuckler strongly reminds me of my friend's D&D character Azur, who happens to be a swashbuckler. I probably would have put this into B tier, but the fact that it's just Azur makes me happy. It gets to be A tier. Angelic has a very grand feel to it. I love the wings and the contrast with her being a Shadowborn. A tier. Draconic I thought looked a little gross and unsettling when I first saw it, but now I'm leaning towards liking it. It's cool how he's transforming into a dragon as he unleashes his magic. I could see myself liking this more over time, but at least at the moment it's B tier. Paladin, I believe, uses the same artwork which was made for it when it was going to be its own class, which is neat. I like that this artwork still ends up getting used. It looks cool, I like the sword, nice Mihawk upscale. It has some aura and it's perfect for what it is. Though it's not really anything crazy either. It's alright, B tier. Rune Knight might be perfect. Looking at this artwork really makes me want to play as one. I'd have my bound damage type be cold, I'd only take ice related spells, I'd have my runes be frost and water with water just being melted ice. Or I could see myself doing something similar with a lightning or fire themed character. I gotta put this artwork into S tier. This is probably one of the coolest looking ones, and it makes me want to play as Rune Knight, which is what the artwork should do. Perfection. Eldritch looks incredibly cool. However, he's a gnome, so it's also kinda goofy looking. To explain this better, here's a separate aura tier list with all the core ancestries. As you can see, the average aura for gnomes is all the way down in E tier. You would think that they would at least be next to halflings, however, I'm biased. Also, halflings have a whole series of movies, and they do some cool stuff in those. So in conclusion, due to the gnome aura loss, Eldritch has to go into B tier. Faye. So, when I first saw this artwork, I had to make a mental save in real life. But after looking at it more, I think I like it. I can appreciate the choice of having a nine-tailed fox beastborn. That's cool, it gives Fae energy. Although I'm not sure if it gives Warlock energy. If you had me guess which class this subclass belongs to based on the artwork, I would have said Druid, and it'd probably take me at least another 2 or 3 guesses after that before I'd guess Warlock. I'm not sure how it could have been made to feel more warlocky without just making it edgy. I guess her outfit could have been purple, but really, it's not bad. I respect the boldness of the design. I'll put it into B tier. Portal Mage might be the least cool looking subclass, and it isn't necessarily accurate with how it works mechanically, but it's very charming. Definitely one of the funniest subclass artworks. I can't say that this is one of my favorites, but I appreciate it and can see the vision. B tier. Witch is another one of my favorites. It's cool and edgy, it gives goth energy, the colors are great. And most importantly, there's a black cat. And as someone who lives with multiple black cats, I can confirm that this is accurate. They're so weird, I love these creatures. Although seeing this black cat reaffirms my opinions on the mechanics of the witch. I talked about this at the end of my 0.9 video, but I feel like it makes sense for the witch to incorporate more beyond curses. It seems odd that the artwork depicts the witch with a black cat familiar, while mechanically there's nothing related to that. I'd at least expect something similar to the Warlock's Pact familiar. Maybe at level 6 or 9 it'll make sense when the witch gains the ability to do something like manifest a curse in the form of a familiar. Or maybe the cat is actually supposed to be someone affected by the vermin hex. But regardless, I'd really like it if the wish was changed to have a list of options to choose from. Sort of like the Monster Slayer or Rune Knight. I have a lot more I could say, but I should get back to talking about what really matters in the game system. The artwork. So the witch is of course S tier. I do have some issues with it mechanically, but the artwork is basically perfect. By the way, if any artwork ever gets censored, I will cry. Like, I'll actually be upset about that. Now, with that, all the current subclass artwork is covered. However, every class is going to be getting a third subclass. And I don't want this video to feel incomplete, so I'll rank them too, even though I have no clue what any of them will look like. This barbarian definitely has the weakest design of all the barbarian subclasses. B tier. This bard has a certain energy to it. D tier. This champion can punch me in the face. A tier. I love her design. This cleric is fine, but the choice of ancestry is weird. I prefer that the first two subclasses sort of paralleled each other with their ancestries. B tier. This commander is cool and edgy looking. S tier. This druid, I'm gonna skip this one. This hunter is A tier, not S tier since I prefer cats. This monk goes straight into E tier for obvious reasons. I don't even need to explain this one. This scion is Z tier. I won't even show it. It would be Z minus, but I do appreciate the ears. This rogue kinda reminds me of myself. B tier. This sorcerer looks good, very chaotic design. A tier. This spellblade is reminiscent of Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, so you know, A tier. This warlock kinda reminds me of Dwayne The Rock Johnson. A tier. This wizard is S tier, very cute design. Oh, and for the artworks, the artificer, elementalist, shaman, shifter, summoner, and tamer subclasses. I don't know, there's not enough info. Okay, bye.